base in rumor 1. So on here, make a nice base for our eye makeup. Longevity of our days. Oops. This light beige color is what we're going to start with. For our base. And our crease and right above our crease. Now we want to darken the outer part of the eye. So I'm going to use a brush like this that's sort of angled on the side, and I'm going to tap into these two darker colors here. And don't worry about going too dark right here. It might look funny for a minute, but I'm going to go in with concealer and I'm going to angle that up, and it's all going to be blended. So it might look a little funky in the beginning, but no worries. No worries. I've had this palette for a very long time. Patrick Ta. This is my go-to makeup palette. Take it everywhere. You get some below, just take a Q-tip. Remember yesterday I talked about the importance of the almond oil. Here it will come in handy. Just gonna put a little bit on a Q-tip and just get rid of that where I went overboard right there at the bottom. Don't pull too hard. Just get that excess off. Right here as well. Okay. I'll just want a touch overboard. Okay. All right. So remember, no worries right now how dark it is. Not well blended right now, but it will look blended by the end, I promise. I won't leave you looking crazy. If you have your own products, I hope that you're going along with me. Okay. All right, let's put some eyeliner on. Today I'm using the Huda Beauty's Creamy Coal in Very Brown. All right, now we go underneath the eyelid. There, back and forth, back and forth. Just be very careful. If you have sensitive eyes, you might want to leave this part out. Both sides. I never used to do this when I was younger, but man, learning about it the last couple of years, it really has made my eyes pop, I believe. Doing it at the bottom and of course on the top. The way across. Just a touch. Put it on the outer third of your eye. We can always come back in with an angled brush like this and kind of shade it in a little bit without going all the way across with a harsh line. You see, it really does make a difference. It may seem small, but it's a big difference. Okay. Now for the mobile eyelid, I have been, let's see, I'm going to put just a quick base down of a neutral color. Like that. Just what I used in the crease. Just put just a touch, just so the topper has something to kind of grab a hold of. Okay, don't have to put a lot here since that topper is going on. But I'm using the e.l.f. Finest Fleck Glitter Eyeshadow, and I'm just taking my ring finger, putting it on here. Here's the color, the shade, and just tapping it on the eyelid as such. Just like that. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, the other side. Next, we will be doing our eyebrows. But first, just look at this glitter top. Oh my word. Really, really nice. It's just enough shine that it's not glitter city. You're not left with big, huge chunks of glitter on your eye. But it's just enough sheen to say, hey, my eyes are going to pop today. All right. So we have that. Now, let's go in and do our eyebrows. I am using the, what is this? Gimme Brow Volumizing Pen by Benefit. It is in shade 4. And what I do is I just go in and I push the eyebrows up a little. And then start shaping them with this pencil. And shaping them does not mean completely outlining, but just going in very gently, filling in those holes that you may see, those bare spots. And you want to make sure that you're angling. This is where you want the tip to end, right here. If you put a pencil this way across your nose, you want the top to be right here, okay? Where that dot is, right there, okay? And then we can start angling down just a little bit. Now we don't want to go all the way down because it's going to pull our eyes that way, but just start angling ever so gently down. And then when we get to the bottom, like I said, don't go all the way down. Start flicking up just a little bit here. All right. That will keep the eyes, whoever's looking at you, from seeing any eye droop or anything like that. Just keeps your eye nice and lifted there. All right, so let's go over the other side. Let's fill in some bare spots. Here is our angle. We want our tip to be right about there, where we want that to be coming to a head right about there. All right. Don't blacken it in, don't box it in. Start angling ever so gently down here and going just a little up at the bottom. All right. What is your favorite eyebrow pencil? I would love to know. I picked up another one at the Sephora sale, but unfortunately I cannot remember which one I went with. I think it was a newer one, the Sarah Creole pencil. I will have to show that to you when it comes in, which is, they're coming in on Friday. That's always a good day. Okay, so let's go in with a highlighter. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter highlighter in 2 Fair. And what I do with this is I just put, oh, actually, we're not done with eyebrows yet. What am I doing? What am I doing? First, we're going in with NYX. Shake it up real good. And we're going to make little hair bristles here. I do not recommend doing that with the brow pencil. Take an instrument such as the NYX Lift and Snatch and just start making little hairs as we're going along here. We're further filling in, darkening the brow, picking up any spots that the pencil did not get. Pick that up. Okay. All right, now to get those set, I have been using the NYX, the brow glue. It's not the strongest, but it's the strongest that I have on hand right now. So if anyone has some recommendations on great brow gel that really, really holds, please comment below. Would love to hear from you. Just keep going up here, bringing the hair to attention. And you might want to let this dry down some after you do the lift and snatch. Let that dry before you start this process, or it's going to run on you. I should have waited. So far, so good. Okay. Here are the brows. All right, now to the highlighter. Charlotte Tilbury. What I do with this is in 2 Fair, very, very light. I just put a little bit right here and right here. And that's not all. Put some right here in the corner of my eye to give a little highlight in both of those areas, okay? And then take a little sponge triangular sponge if I can find one, or a round one, such as this. And I'm going to tap the highlighter in, or you can just tap it in with your fingers on the side there. Okay. All right, next, let's get to our complexion. I already have moisturizer, I have sunscreen on, I have a little bit of the concealer. Let's do a primer. I'm going to use the Touche Éclat primer. I'm just about out of it. I don't have hardly any at all. I'm just going to put a little bit in the T-zone. Not a huge primer person. I'm not fully convinced that we need it, but it does help with shrinking pores before we apply foundation. So, Touche Éclat. All right, next, I always go in and even out my skin tone before foundation with a tinted serum. It just starts, like I said, evening things out, covering some dark spots even further. It just gets us started. So this is in Light 2. This is the the Jane Iredale Tinted Serum. And I'm going to take a Rephr BO2 brush, start in the center, and just start letting that soak into the skin. Another pump. And tap it into the skin. Try not to drag. You may see me occasionally dragging. It is by accident, but dragging puts too much pressure on the skin. You can damage it, and it can lead to sagging when that continuous everyday dragging. So we want to try to avoid that. I'm pretty good about doing that until I get down to my neck, and it's so tempting just to just to really start going. Don't forget the ears. Okay. I don't know if I shared before too. Also on my lips, I forgot to mention, I've been using the Tatcha, the Kiss You lip mask. That's been on my lips, giving me a little treatment as we've been doing our makeup as well. Okay, so where are we here? We are ready for foundation. Now, I did buy, I usually in spring and summer, I cut back on the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is a full coverage foundation, to a light to medium coverage foundation in a more luminous looking foundation, as in the Armani Luminous Silk, but I do not have the right shade. So I'm not going to use this today, but I did get the right shade in the Sephora sale, so I will be trying that out. But I'm going to continue to use my Estee Lauder and just maybe not use as much as I do in the fall and winter. This is in C2CO Cool Vanilla. I believe that's what it is, yes. And I put it in the palm of my hand to start warming up that product. Just about like that. And I use a base thinner. This is the B12 base thinner by One Size. This thins down this product. This is a pretty heavy duty foundation. So I put just a little bit of that base thinner in there and mix it all together. I'm going to use the same brush as I used for the tinted serum, and I'm just going to start mixing that in, just like that. Really putting in the palm, warms it up, getting ready for good application here. And start in the center of your face. Do your T-zone. Go down. was going to use a sponge. I forgot, and I started to use the brush, but that's not too bad. But for the rest of my face, I am going to use the sponge. I've already wet one. I'm going to put a little bit more of the foundation, a squirt of the base thinner, bounce it in this wet sponge, and start applying. Just Estee Lauder in the spring and summer when I want things a little lighter. I just feel that a sponge, a wet sponge application works better for me. Bring that all the way down. Oh, this is so much fun. I love makeup. I love taping. This is fun. I have so much. I have so many products, and why not share them? And I've learned so much. I've worn makeup my entire life. The last 4 or 5 years, I really started learning about makeup and how to apply it, different techniques, different ingredients that are in products. I took some classes, so I have a certification in makeup. So why not pass that experience and knowledge on to friends, right? Comment below how long you've been wearing makeup, what your favorite products are, if you like using Estee Lauder at this age, or if there's another foundation that you like, please share with others, and let's start a conversation going about products that we're using now, how we have to apply them a little bit differently now that we're older. We're friends, right? We share those kinds of things with friends. Just, of course, always be friendly. Okay, and don't go underneath your eyelids. We are leaving that blank and saving that for concealer. All right. I don't know what is going on with that brown spot right there, but it is just refusing to get filled. So I'm going to go in with a NARS. This is in light 2.5 creme brulee, and I'm going to try to work on this dark spot right there. It is just being impossible. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take a closer look here, see what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna stop there with the foundation. Might be able to do one more, but we're really trying to keep it light. Okay, foundation or concealer. Let's go to the Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter concealer in Coconut Flakes 2.7N. And I put some right here in the corner of both eyes. And this is where I start really working on that outer eyeshadow that I was working on earlier. I want that to be pulled up. I want to angle that area. So let me take a concealer brush. This is a Wing Me 09, or let's use the Morphe concealer brush. I thought that was a number. That was a makeup spot. Okay. And we're going to tap. We're never, ever going to drag here. This is a very, very delicate area. All right, let me show you what we're going to do when we get to this eyeshadow spot. Okay, very gently, extremely gently, just start pulling up on this area. If you do this too harshly, before long, you are going to have some sagging in this area, and this is not what we want. So angle it and just kind of tap at the same time. We can also use a small sponge in that area to start getting that area how we wanting it to look, the desired effect. Okay. And we might go back with some eyeshadow to play around in that area to get the desired effect too. But this really brings this area to life, I feel, is this concealer. And you want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your natural complexion. So this 2.7 is just perfect. All right, where's my concealer brush again? Okay, here we go. There's the Morphe. Tap. Starts to really cover this area without looking too heavy. If you go in swiping every which way, you are going to have a mess on your hands. And it's going to look way too heavy, and it's going to age us. So we do not want that, right? We're trying to stay youthful and glowy. Okay. There we go. Okay, now remember, whatever is wet, we set. That's correct. All right, so we're getting our Huda Beauty powder back out. And I'm just going to take a regular brush, another Morphe brush, go in, tap, and just start very, very gently tapping that in. You don't need a lot of product here, just a very, very thin layer. Very thin layer. Okay, and you can go down and start setting this whole area actually, because we brought it down a little ways. If you want to add some highlighter, I meant to put this underneath my makeup, but it's not too late. If you want to add a liquid highlighter here in the T-zone, feel free to do that. I would do it before, but I can show you what that would look like. On top, I'm going to use the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow in, what is it, Moonbeam Pink Moon. All right, so it has a doe foot applicator. Going like that, like an arrow, and go down the T-zone like this. Okay, and at the high points of your cheekbones. And at the top of your lip. Those powder brush, but she won't mind if we use it as a highlighter brush. Where's a blending brush? Okay, I don't think there are highlighter brushes. And get that tip there. Okay. Looking pretty good. All right, let's get to bronzing. I have a bronzing stick. This is Westman Atelier in Biscuit. I'm gonna go right in, and you want this to be a brown that has some gray in it to be a good bronzer. Cool tone. not too warm for our complexion if you are following along and have the same complexion as I. And we want to also do the nose. This slims down the nose, and this starts angling the face we wish we had. Right. I'm going to take another Nikki LaRose in 17 to start blending this out, or blending this in rather, into the skin. I'm so excited to be doing this with you. This is something that I have been wanting to do for so long. I mean, I'm talking over a year. I thought about doing this and was always afraid to push play, to push record. And then one day I was sitting in my makeup room and I was like, you know what? Just do it. Just do it. You're not getting any younger. You got some tips. And one of the reasons why I was worried, I was like, well, there's so many people doing this. But really, there isn't in our age group. We are underserviced. I don't know if that's the word. But most people doing makeup tutorials and our influencers are much younger. So what's a girl in her 50s or over to do? Watch Glow Up Over 50 with Kim. That's what. Got up this morning, took a little walk outside. It's a beautiful day. Had some whole grain oatmeal with monk fruit, cutting out on the sugar, and of course drinking water, which I cannot forget to do while I'm taping. This is Gucci Eclat Soleil in 02. And I'm going to take a fan brush like this. This is a for contour Patrick Ta brush. And I'm going to tap into that product and tap off. And really tap off, because I think I got too much, but I'm just going to kind of stamp this area. And don't worry, I'm going to blend it. But right now we're just kind of stamping in the areas that we needed to contour. See how that starts to frame the face? Brings up my cheekbones a little bit, right? All right, we're gonna go back into, let's use the dry sponge to blend. My favorite bronzer of all time is Gucci. I also use Dior's bronzer as well. Like that one, really like the scent of that. There's coconut smells and scents in these products. Oh my goodness. Very tropical. All right. So there we are with bronzer. Next, we're going to do blush. I am going to, let's see, what blush am I going to use? Let's use NARS today. This is in Brazen. Let me give you the, it's like a pinkish, orangish, tangerine looking color. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on the top of my hand first, and then go in with a blush brush. Tap, and then start up here, right over where you just bronzed, very high on the cheekbone. Usually people start here. That's going to drag, that drags my face down. So on most face shapes, we want to start continually angling up. We can go around this way too. Don't be afraid to just put blush in one area. We don't want blush, or we don't want makeup to be, you know, eyes, lips, blush, you know, this is where everything goes. This is a canvas that has a lot of color, but we blend it all. It's all in the blending technique. I want to bring this blush even on our nose. It's something that our mamas never told us, right? No. They didn't know. Who knew you could put blush on your nose? All right. I'm going to put just a touch more right in there. Keep angling. Okay. Wonderful. 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 Okay. All right. Once it's on, go back in. Dab that just to blend it a little bit. It doesn't look patchy. I'm going to top this. I'm going to top it with Dior's Rosy Glow. It's a little too pink for what I'm after for today, but I wanted to put a powder on top to go along with our theme. Whatever's wet, we set, right? I wanted to show you two real quick, going back into our eyes just to finish those up. Yeah, I really like that. But to go back to our eyes, I want to darken that area back up again just a little bit. So I'm going to go in with that angled, back in with that angled brush. A little bit right here, a little bit right here, and we're going to blend again. Even blend with our fingers. And I'm going to put just a little bit of this eyeshadow on the bottom. Like this. If I can find the right brush, I'm going to use a brush like this. I have no idea. This is an old Morphe brush, H2. Go back in this color right here. And just wipe it across a third, the bottom of this lid. or the bottom of our eye rather. All right. Okay. Now next we will maybe more than a third, maybe a half. All right. Now, well, before we get out of eyes, I am going to go back in with a Victoria Beckham. This is her highlighter stick, and just further highlight some areas that I want to be a little more noticed. The corners and right under the eyelid. Just wanted it to be a little bit more dramatic than the highlighter that I put on before. This is in shade Pearl. All right, how are we looking? Okay, let's do our eyelashes. But first, I would like to curl them first. Curl, curl, curl. I'm using Lash Paradise, L'Oreal's Lash Paradise today in black. Don't have a primer on hand. I did order one for the Sephora sale. But this is, I'm telling you, this beats high end any day of the week. This Lash Paradise does. I believe I picked up Tower 28's primer and mascara, but I'm telling you, I'm really liking Lash Paradise. Just make sure you go underneath and kind of wiggle it a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle, and pull up. Wiggle, wiggle, pull up. Do the top first and see where we are. I don't like to go very heavy on the bottom. Again, it boxes our eyes in, it cages them in, and it ages me. It may not age you, and you keep doing you. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, and whatever you love, whatever makes you glow, you keep doing, girl. I'm just here to give tips. But to each his own. I've never tried brown mascara. I'm wondering, maybe as I get older, maybe I need a brown. Gosh, I'm getting some carpal tunnel in my wrist. And it is not, it's like completely numb right now. I had a cortisone injection done yesterday, and it said it'd take about 6 weeks for it to start taking effect. And that can't happen soon enough. It wakes me up at night. All right, let me get some of the excess off. I'm just going to do very lightly on the bottom. Usually what happens is I end up doing one eye light and then one eye darker, and then I have to go back in and darken the other one. I think those are pretty even. Okay. Now we can do lip liner. I'm going to use Steve Laurent, and in Uptown. Overline a little bit, just a touch. Overline. This is hashtag beat the filler, is when you overline, because it looks like you have nice full lips. And overline just a touch on the bottom. It's hard to talk. All right. And did I bring a lipstick up here? Not the right shade, I don't believe I did. But let's use this for today. This is Gwen Stefani's Give brand, and this is Spark the Fire. Let me put it over here where you're going to see it in a second. It's very balmy. But it's lightweight. For spring and summer as well. All right, that's that. Let's set our face. Going back to the Huda Beauty powder. Get a triangle puff. Like this. Go into that powder and tap it off. Start in the center of your nose. The lightness of this powder really highlights your face as well. Nice pink color. All right, this is important here. Tap this out and angle your face up right underneath that bronzer in the blush. See? See the angle? Okay. There we go. You might want to let that set just a couple minutes, but for right now, I'm going to take a powder brush and wipe that away. Just like that. All right. Be sure to set this so it stays all day. And I'm going to use Cali Ray's Surf Proof Setting Spray. 2, 3. There we go. Just fan yourself. All right. And there's a final look. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. And if you have any questions about any of the products that I use, please comment below. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Glow Up Over 50 with Kim. All right, take care. Bye. Show me easy. Show me